And it was a weekend. Hey, not quite like we wanted it to be, but it was an interesting weekend. We're gonna say that much. It was a very interesting weekend.
Were you able to see the Inoue fight yesterday?
I saw everything. I saw every fight.
Let's get your reactions. Let's get the
In a
whole
way,
rundown.
in a way fight saved the weekend.
Mm.
That saved the weekend. Like that was by far the best fight of the weekend. Like you can't. That's even with fucking Canelo fight. So that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You even heard the announcers throwing digs at Canelo. I think about the punch output in the first round. They was like, that's more punches than Canelo threw. Some shit they said, bro. You had the announcers digging. Yeah, yeah, man. So it's all good.
That's nasty, I know.
Yeah.
So we were just talking to Bruce Carrington not too long ago. He believes that Inoue should probably stay at that weight class just because he got dropped last night. What you think?
I mean, I think that people got to look at it. Like I heard Summer Shushu because y'all went for a long time, but I heard Summer Shushu, and I think a lot of what Shushu was saying was absolutely correct. Um, but you got to remember, people got to think like I know boxing fans don't really understand sometimes that they like a puncher to be a puncher anywhere. Like they'll say some dumb shit like I'm not even being funny. They'll say some dumb shit like NOA versus Tank. That's what I'm saying. For example, you can't say that. That fight makes zero sense in any logical person's eyes. Tank will flatline that man damn near. You know what I'm saying? He will. He'll damn near flatline that man. So you can't be saying. I mean, Inoue is a little guy. Inoue is a very little guy. He just got a lot of power, and knockouts bring excitement, and that's what brings the fans. But like I told you many times before, fans like superheroes. But you got to remember, your superhero can get beat by another superhero. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, Inoue he doing good where he at. He definitely topped out, maxed out at the division for his power, to say the least. We know he makes mistakes. He was able to get away with those mistakes with the lower division, with the lower fighters who probably couldn't affect him or punch him. Like we saw what happened with Neary. And but nah, he need to stay where he at. He definitely don't need to go near 126 or Shushu or nobody else. He need to stay at 122.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not saying that disrespectfully, so I guess I should start saying respectfully, like everybody else do. But I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm saying that to be honest. Like, you know, I mean, you're only as big as you are. You were only born to get, what I'm saying, as strong as you're gonna get. So I mean, you can't do what you can't do. And I just don't think that he needs, in my opinion, though, just my opinion. I don't think that he needs to go past 122. I think he's doing good. He's done very well for himself. He already a legend in some people's eyes. He's already a legend in Japan for sure. He's already made a statement in the game, and I mean, I think he need to not push it too far before he pushes himself over a bridge. But other than that though, I respect his game, and I think he need to stay where he at though.
what's your thoughts on Canelo Alvarez, William Skull?
That shit was fucking horrible, bro.
Whoa, snoozies.
Man, that shit was worse than Snoozy. That shit was horrible, bro. That shit was horrible. Like they gotta stop doing this shit. I hope with and I fought with Terrence Crawford, so but with Terrence Crawford fight, which I understood more than Canelo fight, with Terrence Crawford fight where he was trying to be tactical, trying to be cautious, trying to be strategic, shit like that with Madrimov. So with that fight, that was a little lackluster at first, and you get a little bit of excitement. But his last fight wasn't the most exciting fight that he's had. But you mix that with Canelo shit, and you got a fucking snooze fest. You feel what I'm saying? Again, I'm with Terrence Crawford on this. So I'm just saying with his last fight, I understood what he was doing. I respect what he was doing as a boxing purist. So I'm not. I know it's not just about that letting your hands go throwing and shit like that. I knew he was looking for shit. I understood that, but from a casual fan, they go look like, bro, what the fuck are we looking at? So I definitely hope they get together with their styles and can give us what we want to see. Cause we want to see some fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? The fans like fisticuffs, baby.
So I mean, a lot of people were saying that looking at that performance, they look at the Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez a little bit differently. And then also seeing the matchup, face to face. What would you say about that? Do you see the fight being closer after what you seen last Saturday? This Saturday?
think I mean you can't judge everybody on one performance. You know, you've seen many different phases of Canelo, you've seen many different phases of Crawford, you've seen many different phases of these fighters, and everybody's not gonna be their absolute 100% best on any given night. That's just not the way it go. Like I said, they're not superheroes, they're humans. And sometimes shit be going on. Some the style could be giving somebody trouble. And so I mean, I don't know what we're gonna see till we get in there. So I'm not even gonna foresee that shit. I'm just gonna be like everybody else, and I'm gonna wait on it, and I'm gonna pay for it, and I'm gonna watch it. Hopefully, I can be there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna wait on it, man. That's all. But I'm definitely gonna support it. I support the event, and I'm definitely gonna support the event or whatever in the way I can.
Mm, mm. Um, so you don't favor nobody in that fight?
Oh, Crawford. Yeah, I told you Crawford over Canelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got Crawford over everybody. You must.
Uh,
Yeah, I got Crawford over everybody. I'm going Crawford.
so what? Outboxing Canelo?
Yeah, have to be. It's all the way.
That's the
Yeah,
only
it's
way.
on the way. It's on the way. And but Canelo showed you, but again, I was about to say something. That's what made me say what I said about judging people on any given night. Was I was about to judge him, Canelo, but I really was talking to myself when I said it, which I tend to do sometimes. So I was really talking to myself when I was about to judge him, and I was about to say I think he's a little too comfortable. Like if you watch his posture in the first, it's like he know he the man in the sport. He know he didn't feel the necessity to go out and give the fans what they wanted to see. He didn't feel the need to go out and just like how like hunger fighters do. Like Money Mayweather versus Pretty Boy.
Hmm.
He reached that level. He didn't feel the need to give the fans what they wanted to see. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like that. But again, I can't judge him off of that. I'm not saying that he physically can or can't do it, but I don't like that he didn't feel the need to do it. He did not push the issue, even though Williams' score was the bullshit. I think Canelo could have did more to push the issue, and he didn't do that.
Mm, mm. You think is he falling down? You think he's going down in a
No, I
downslope?
can't say no. There's nothing to suggest he's going on down slow. No.
No.
The only thing that suggests any kind of is not downward is just like
Defeat.
with Inoue, he reached his peak, and that's the power. You haven't seen him knock nobody out or really significantly hurt nobody in like what 5, 6 fights. He dropped Berlanga, but you know what I'm saying, you ain't never really seen him, really get nobody out of there. It's been a long time. So I mean, Canelo not that big. I've been saying that for a long time. He's really not that big. Again, people see these fighters and they think they're superhuman, they're superheroes. 5'7", 5'7.5". Like it's not that big.
Hmm.
My bad. That's not that big of a person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but again, I can't say he's on his down spiral. I think he's reached his peak as far as the power will go, or whatever. But I want to get to some of them other fights, man. Unless you want to direct the question, let me let you lead it. I get into what I got to
You
say.
get
Which one you want?
you trying to get in? Is he looking? You trying to
Hey, I'm
dive in
just
like a
saying,
diver?
yeah,
I
you
like to
going
slow
backwards.
play it. I like to slow
Yeah,
play
yeah,
it.
you going backwards. I was back there
You was
first, like,
getting
bro.
excited.
Hey,
You was getting excited.
hey, listen, I know how people tend to forget about other shit when other shit happen. I didn't forget about what the fuck happened Friday. I didn't forget what happened Friday because of Sunday. You understand what I'm saying? I
Listen,
saw that bullshit. I saw it. I saw it just like everybody else.
go right ahead. Let's go straight to let's go from Tio on up. Let's go to Tio
All
on up.
right.
All right. Tio
T
Barboza.
T.O. Barbosa, I think that, and I'm the only one that's saying this, but I mean, I got my opinion. I got what I'm looking at. I think people's giving Barbosa a lot of hell for no reason. I think out of all of those fighters on that card, Barboza was one of the most people, not saying that Tio was not. I think Barboza was giving it his all. I think Barboza was trying to make the fight. You can look at Barboza by the way he was raising his hand thinking he was winning and like, after the rounds and shit, like, yeah, like another good round for him. You know what I'm saying? I think Barboza was giving it his all. We haven't seen a lot of Barboza. I know I haven't. we haven't seen a lot of Barboza. We don't really know his temperament. We don't know his style like that or whatever. But Barboza wasn't in there in the snooze fest. Barboza wasn't in there not letting his hands go. He wasn't in there not trying to get some shit done. He wasn't in there not throwing. He was working. Barboza was trying. I think Barboza was trying. I think that if anything, and this is not a slight on T.O., but I think if anything, T.O. was just better than him. T.O. was just better than him. But if anything, T.O. could get more criticism than Barboza. And I know that shit sound crazy. The reason I'm saying it is I think T.O. could have done more. T.O.
That
didn't
doesn't
sell him.
sound crazy. I've been saying that, and they've been saying, "Why you haven't been watching my take then?" I've been
Yeah, I ain't see
saying
that.
that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
T.O. could have done, T.O. could have done more, bro. He could have done
HLD
more.
HLD getting on my neck for no reason because I said that shit. For no
No,
reason.
HLD, no disrespect to your fight and everything else, bro. But T.O., I mean, we're looking at it. You got to look at it from what you've seen T.O. do. You got to look at it from the potential of what you've already seen, not the potential of what you think he can do, the potential of what you've already seen him do. And I think that and I'm glad Mike Tyson, because I was looking at, I'm listening to the commentators, and I'm listening to Mike Tyson when they say shit. I'm like, why they giving T.O. so much props for this shit? You know what I'm saying? Not saying he wasn't doing good. He was indeed winning, but it was more showmanship than fucking fighting. It was more, touch your knee, move, do the stanky leg, whatever the fuck it was he was in there doing, than actually punching him in the fucking face. You feel me? HLD, I know you said your fight. I'm not to pick on you. You my dog. You know what I'm saying? I've seen you in the chat a couple times, but you want your man to punch you. Hey, you want your superhero to punch him in the fucking face, or you want him to dance in front of him and show he can't be touched. You feel what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. He HLD just wrote Teofimo was a masterclass.
It was masterclass dancing and moving around, and I mean, but that's not what win fight. Apparently, that's not what win fights. We want to see fights. Let me ask you this. Anybody, nobody noticed that on that whole card. They said T.O. did the best. He had the best performance, which that's you can arguably say that. I mean, being that Rolly got the upset, you kind of got to give it the ups to Rolly. But as far as like physically wise, who actually did the best, you got to get at the T.O. But
100%.
why is it that T.O. face looked worse than everybody on the card? Everybody. His face looked worse than Ramirez. His face looked worse than Ryan. His face looked worse than Rolly. His face looked worse than
He
everybody on the
took more
card.
chances.
He did not. He got hit with 2-1s. He got hit with two. Listen to me. That's where I felt like he did not do.
The two
I feel
one,
like
yeah.
yeah, that's what he kept getting hit with, and that's what the announcers wasn't calling.
Listen, let me tell you something. When I was watching that fight, and you're gonna agree with me, watch this. They did a couple of exchanges that they both got rocked in the same time at least 3 times. And that's the reason why Teofimo Lopez took it easy and didn't go full
Right,
blast.
right. Yeah, that
So
makes
he's like,
sense.
let
That
me
makes
be my
sense.
showman, let
Hey,
me do my
hey.
showman, but also let me not be in the hot water the whole time because
So
he's catching me.
So check it out. I'm glad you said that. That brings me to another point that I was gonna get to. But that brings me to another. I'm glad you said that. Remember when I told y'all a long time ago, people don't understand what power does. People don't understand what punching power does when a fighter feels it. Remember, I'm a fucking fighter. When you feel a person hit you, and you feel something on that shit, and you realize where you are, you realize the stage you on, you realize how big it is, you're like, can't let that happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford to get hurt. You can't afford to get wobbled. Not in the fucking
Tio
social
can't
media
afford to
area.
lose fights right now.
You can't afford to do none of that
You can't
shit.
do
That's
that
what
right
I'm
now.
saying. So, with that being said, like you just said, T.O. being cautious, Ryan being cautious because he felt rolling power. Punching power changes the whole game. Punching power changes how a person. Hey, not Haney. Ryan punching power from the previous fight before changed Haney a whole game for the night. Look at what he came in there with. He was afraid to get punched. And I'm again. Haney did a 12-0 shutout. So props to Haney for doing what he did or whatever else. But if it's
But
for the
that's a whole
fans,
other story that we're gonna get into.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's keep the T.O. boat right now
All
real
right, let's
quick.
go.
Because
Okay,
then
back
you
on T.O.
already
Back on.
know he hit
Got
people with the door the Explorer right after that. So but
back on back
Let's back up.
Back on Tio. Yeah, no, he not ready for no boost. He not ready for no. He not ready. He better stay at 140. He got to dominate 140.
Is he
Like you
ready for
just
your
said,
son?
he didn't think he was ready for my son because they offered him to fight with my son and he clearly didn't take it. I mean, he didn't want to take it. So I mean, I don't know what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even finna get into that, but I mean, that's the easiest fight. That's literally the easiest fight to make is Teofimo Lopez and Brian Norman Jr. That's the easiest fight in the world to make.
Yeah, Tio's dad thinks that Tio will beat the brakes out of your son.
Tio Daddy said that. What he said that after the fight.
I don't know when he said it. I don't think he said it after the fight. Yeah,
He had to be because Tio Daddy wasn't talking like
no, during the press conference, they asked him some questions about Brian Norman.
after the right. He wasn't talking like that before. He was not talking like that. Look, I tell you what. Then if he's talking like that, then hopefully he get it. I mean, look, my son got to fight, so he got something he got to deal with on his own. So we're gonna deal with that situation. And if Tio Senior feel like that, then I'm glad he feels like that. Again, that's the easiest fight to make. They both with the same. They're both on the same network. They're both with the same promoter. I mean, we ready. That's the easiest fight in the world to make. I hope his daddy do feel it. I hope they do feel, superpowers from looking the best on that mid ass card. I hope they do feel superpowers from that. I
Mm.
mean, that wasn't a hard card to be a standout on.
Mm.
Do you agree? It wasn't that hard to stand out on that card. It wasn't that hard.
Nah, you just had to make it competitive, Um,
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hey,
hmm
boss man, I'm gonna call you right
Smash
back,
the
boss.
like button, double tap the
All right.
screen if you are mobile devices. We finally got the stream working. So Teofimo Lopez says, I'm Dora the Explorer and I'm looking for boots. What's
No,
your
he not. He
reaction?
not. He
Is he
not.
really
He
looking
not.
for him?
No, he's not really looking for him. He talking shit.
What
He
happens
not
if
really
he's on
looking
the
for him.
Canelo undercard?
So what?
Imagine if he's on that Canelo undercard.
I mean, it'd be huge. It'd be big. It'd be great for boxing. Even, no matter what the card did, the card itself and those fights being made was good
Canelo
for boxing.
undercard. Let me get this shit right.
Right. That fight was good for boxing. That fight, the card itself was good for boxing. I'm talking about the Ryan, T.O. and Devin fight. That fight was good for boxing, so I'm glad we getting to see, the meat up under all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? The substance up under all the bullshit. From everything else, from the 4 kings, 3 kings, whatever the fuck you want to call them. So that's good. We've been able to see that, but nah, he don't stand. I don't think he stand a chance against Boots. But I do see this with all the moving and shit he doing. A smaller fighter, people don't know this too. When they say about somebody being too small and not strong enough and everything else, a smaller fighter can tend to give like a Usyk, for example. A smaller fighter tends to give bigger fighters more trouble because they're so hard to hit. They can be very slippery. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I don't think Tio is gonna be able to hurt him, be able to hurt Boots. So I mean, I think that's gonna be what makes the difference. I don't think it's gonna be a dominant performance like people think as far as like Boots killing them, mashing them. I don't think it's gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that if Tio come out there with a boxing style and just being athletic and being moving, you didn't. I mean, it's gonna give. I think it'll give him problems. Now, people gonna say, "Well, he could do it, but Boots could do the same thing." Yeah, but when you're a bigger fighter doing that, it's totally different when you're against a smaller fighter doing that. There are pros and cons for every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And those two doing the same thing, that's gonna be the most boringest, ugliest fight you ever seen in the fucking world. If they both get there and get to hopping around and moving around and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Mm.
But
But
no,
both
I don't think he gonna win though. I don't think he gonna win. I don't see it being a knockout because, like I said, I think he gonna be slippery enough or find ways. But I think Boots will win.